Hi everyone, my name is Gina. This is probably going to be my first ever YouTube video, so welcome. Thank you for being here with me. I have been gardening for about 3 years now, but this is the first year I'm ever going to attempt to start all of my plants from seeds, so I wanted to take you along the journey with me. The first thing I wanted to talk about is this seed starting kit that I got off Amazon. I'll show you what came with it. First, it comes with a tray with no holes, along with the seed cells with the little holes in the bottom. Those go together. And then it also has the humidity dome and these little wheels to help control how much airflow your plants are getting. It also came with these grow lights, which I will not be using until my seeds have started to sprout and germinate. And it came with some of these little tools. Before we start filling up our trays and planting seeds, we first have to get my soil ready. So I got this Organic Expanding Seed Starting Soil. It's a dehydrated in a block. I got it off Amazon. First thing we're gonna do is just rehydrate it. I don't need all of it. I don't have that many things we're gonna be planting, so I'm just trying to break off some chunks so I don't rehydrate the whole thing yet. Then I've got some warm, hotish water, and we're just gonna add it and expand. And you can make your own seed starting mix. I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly what goes into that. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely do some research and see what you can use. But I just bought a pre-made, ready to go mix. All right, our soil is nice and moistened and broken down, so now we can start filling our trays. All right, I'm first starting off by just lightly filling all of our cells, making a nice and even layer across the whole tray. And I want to stress, you guys, this is my first time ever starting all of my plants by seed, so take what you want and leave what you don't. I'm not an expert by any means. As you guys can probably tell, I'm doing this on the floor, on the carpet, making an absolute mess, but we're just here to have fun. Now what we're gonna do is lightly tamp down each cell about 1/4 inch. This way when we add our seeds on top and then another little layer of soil, they are exactly the right depth they need to be. On your seed packet, it should tell you how deep they need to be, how long to germination, how long to harvest, how far to space everything together once they're in your garden. So definitely take a peek at these. It also gives you a rough idea of when to start your seeds, whether they're best to start indoors like this or if you can direct sow them outside. I am in zone 4, so definitely know your zone when it comes to planting and starting seeds. Generally in zone 4, I want to start my seeds around 6 to 8 weeks before our last frost date, and that is in about the beginning to mid-May. I've also got a few little of these label sticks just so I can remember what I have where. All right, let's plant some seeds. I am pretty prone to overplanting and overbuying plants as it is. So for that reason, I'm only going to do 1 seed per each little seed cell. A lot of people recommend doing 2 or 3 just because seeds don't have 100% germination rates, but I already know I'm going to overplant. So if some of them don't germinate, don't make it, that's okay. The next thing we're going to do is lightly cover up all of our seeds with a little bit more of our seed starting soil mix. And then we're just going to flatten it all out to create one nice even level. And then hopefully within the next week or so we see some signs of life and some germination from our seeds, but this is like I said, this is my first time doing this, so I'm not keeping my fingers crossed too tight. And if I need to, I can go to the plant store. All right, the next thing to do is we are going to cover these with our humidity dome. Give them a little bit of airflow so they don't get rotted or moldy or anything like that. And we're just gonna keep these someplace nice and warm. If you do this often, you may have something like a heating pad or a seed starting heating mat. I don't have one of those. I did not want to overcommit to this, especially because this is my first time starting my seeds like this. I don't know if it's gonna be something that I keep doing long term. I hope it does. I hope it works out well and this is something we can do every year, but I didn't overcommit. So this is just gonna be kept in a nice warm spot in my house. All right, you guys, that is it for today. Thank you for joining me on this journey of starting my seeds together. I will be sure to keep you updated and please follow along. I would love to have you here. Bye.